I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking the air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect from a throw.
Thanks for all the football. It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
September 1st, 2025. Football is on Thursday. Draft season is coming to an end, and we have a few more days to enjoy these final moments of hope and bliss before it all comes to a screeching halt the second the ball kicks off on Thursday night and reality comes banging into every pillar we've built in this fantasy world we're currently reveling in. So to get ready for the reality storm, tonight we are looking at sleepers and potential waiver wire ads. Stacks, what a great weekend we had.
Concur. What a tremendous weekend. Draft at your house on Saturday night. We had a draft at my house yesterday. Homeboy did not leave my house until 8:00 last night. So I was
his name. I
Jim.
Even,
he's
Jim.
Jim.
Okay.
Jim. Yeah,
Jim
good
was
old
a
Jim.
character, dude.
Yeah, he was probably my highlight of the weekend for me. He tattooed himself. He got a tattoo gun and he tattooed himself the night before he came over, and he just showed us. He just was like, "Hey, check out! I tattooed myself."
Jim rolled in with a belt, some type of like WWF Fantasy Championship belt that had Bud Lights in it.
Yeah.
That were. It was a cooler.
They were cold Bud Lights.
Yeah, they were cold Bud Lights.
Well, yeah, and then last
he was
night,
not playing around.
No, and last night he tattooed himself crab cakes. He gave himself this tattoo, and he put it in the league chat today.
Wait. Oh, really? Oh,
I knew you'd love that.
My guy.
Yeah, he is my guy. I love this guy.
Yeah.
So we can pick. We got some good new guys in the league this year for one of our analytics leagues here in the DMV. So yeah, just a lot of fun. And your draft at your house on.
He did seem like if I needed to rob a bank with somebody I didn't know that well, like I would maybe check him out.
Yeah, the dead president's energy.
Just throw out a little just a line, see what he thought.
Yeah. See if you're going to go to Dundalk.
If he hates Chase Bank too,
JP Morgan, not a fan.
Yeah.
Now he was awesome. He came ready to go. Blunts rolled in a little blunt case. It was like the MacGyver of blunts. He was great. No complaints.
No, it was great, man. We had cakes. We had Denny. It was good times, man. Bruni. I loved it.
Yes. And that was only half because we also had the draft at your house on Saturday, which was 20 years, home league, best friends, hanging out, talking shit. We had a guy draft 3 quarterbacks in the league. He immediately just started making fun of him. We had somebody else, a remote drafter, draft Joe Mixon in the 6th round. He's not going to play football anymore. It was great. It was a home league spectacular. There was food. It was, 1:30 in the morning, 2 in the morning, just hanging out. So Christmas, we call it fancy Christmas. I don't know if you celebrate, fancy Hanukkah. I don't know if you don't, whatever it is. It was just one of my favorite times. I know yours as well. So,
it really is, man.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we both always talk about it. By the end of the season, you're so done. And as the season looms, there's a piece of you that's just like, I don't know, man. Like, this is, like I'm old, like I'm not, this is kind of old, kind of wild and weird that we still do this. But then by now you're like, you're so happy I'm so happy. Those are the only live drafts that I do, typically are mine and crab cakes. And, if you're not in a league where you do a live draft, that's fine. It's fun, if you're in a lot of leagues, but hopefully one of your leagues does live drafts, because that is how this all started. That is the point. You're supposed to have people that you're staying connected with. And, we're 45, 46 years old. If, if you see your friends once a year, that's great. Like, this is it. I mean, I haven't seen these guys in a year, but we got to spend a whole, 12 hours almost together. This is great.
Yeah, getting to see the boys or the girls, whatever you're into, your league mates. It is a special time in the season. We talked about it. There's hope, right? No one's hurt necessarily, or if you have someone who's hurt, you put them on the IR. You're saving them for later. You've got a plan. Nothing's happened. No bad calls have gone against you. No drops. Nothing has happened at all. You're all gonna win. Every team you feel good about, except maybe if you drafted 3 quarterbacks or stuff like that. But you feel great. And then you mentioned earlier, like the second it kicks off, you're just like, oh, why didn't I pick that guy? Why? Oh my God, I made a mistake in this. Oh no, I'm not going to. So it does, the doubt creeps in immediately. But until Thursday, I mean, you're still drafting. We were drafting.
I have one more live draft. I forgot. I have 3 that I do every year. Yeah, I have one more my Thursday night draft.
There's a Tuesday night draft that I'm involved in. There's a Wednesday night draft that I'm
Fantasy
involved
Millionaires.
in. Yeah,
let's go.
You're involved in one tonight, and then Thursday you've got your drafting every night up until it's draft season. It's just
our wives league is tomorrow night.
Yep.
So
yeah, my wife's pissed. She's the 10th pick. I told her, don't worry, you'll be fine. It's a 10-man league or 10-woman league. You're great. Don't even worry. And just sit back and let the value fall. Those leagues are crazy. 10-team leagues are crazy because you'll get Stephon Diggs in the 12th round or like 13. You're like, what the hell is this? Are they even playing? And they'll be like, yeah, Stephon Diggs is my wide receiver 6. You're like, oh, damn. So, but 12 team is the way to go. 14 can be fun if you're sharp, but maybe not if you're rigs. But I'm excited. So here's what we're gonna do. We got to break it down for the show today. We're talking sleepers, waiver wire ads, and just kind of guys who we think are going to break out, but maybe not going to break out right now. So these are people who you might not have drafted them. They might get drafted by other friends, then dropped because they don't really, break out right away. So hold. A sleeper doesn't have to be awake the first week or even the second week. Be patient. So with that being said, what we have been doing, and I will share my screen here, is we've been going down the ECR, which is the expert consensus rankings at Fantasy Pros, to kind of hit or miss on their rankings. What do we think as the Fantasy Millionaires? Who are our fades? Who are our braids? Braids, we're putting them in our team. Obviously, fades, we're fading. So let me try to pull that screen up. I can do 2 things at once. Hey, there you go. So last week we left off around end of round 10. Sorry, end of round 12, going into round 13, right? And so I think we ended around Hunter Henry. We laughed and laughed and laughed, and we're not drafting Hunter Henry. But Geno Smith moved a little bit, and so here's what I wanted to do. I've got Geno Smith. I got a couple of QBs down here that I wanted to run by you first, right? Okay. I've got Geno Smith. I've got Matthew Stafford. And where's the other guy here? Man, Cam Ward. So if you're waiting or you're trying to get a second quarterback, if you're waiting, I'm not too sure what you're doing. Because Denny Carter did wait and get Cam Ward yesterday, but that seemed like fool's gold, particularly since I stole Drake May from him. But anyway, what are you kind of thinking about down here? Are you adding a depth quarterback at this point? And sell me on any of these players clogging up your bench, because honestly, I don't think I'm going to have any of them on my bench.
Geno Smith is interesting as a second QB, but I just feel like there's enough guys that I would roll the dice on before I would roll the dice on him. We talked about Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, like those are all guys. But I think Geno Smith is right there. He's in a new situation again, and he's just someone that really blossomed late in his career. And even last year, was a fringe QB1 in the 12-man league, So, getting to be with Pete Carroll, it's, there's, it's going to be a whole new situation in Vegas. We're going to have to kind of wait and see, but I think Geno Smith is one of these guys that could he's going to go undrafted in a lot of leagues, and he could be one of these guys that's a hot waiver wire pickup after like week 2. So he to me, he's the most interesting one. I'm in love with Matt Stafford, The injury news there is just so scary, and I mean, I'm still drafting Puka where he's going because I don't think it matters. And then on top of it, like if it is the Jimmy G show, him and Devontae don't have the best rapport, so it's all Puka for days, baby. But I was just reading up on it before the show started just to try and wrap my mind around what I'm going to say here. And what they are reporting it as is an aggravated disc. Tell me what it is, dude. It's so frustrating.
My back, I broke my back.
Yeah. Yeah. What's an aggravated disc? What does that mean?
It means that the discs that are in your spine that are there normally
They're angry.
They're agitated.
Yeah.
They're surly. They're Lewis Black. They
woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah, they're Frank Costanza. I got a lot of problems with you discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Well, when you have a medical tent trailer gazebo situation, whatever, a big out, it lives there now outside of the Rams. That's not good that he has to live in this hyperbaric chamber. They're feeding him toad livers at night. He's 18-degree, all this kind of stuff. That's not going to be good for the Rams. So I'm not touching him. It's his 17th NFL season. He's held together by like tape and needles and cortisol by now. Like that poor man.
Dude,
so,
here's the thing though, man, and I'm with you. I'm not touching him either just because of that. That being said, part of me wants to bet he's just going to ball out. Like I don't think Matthew Stafford has designs on living to be 75 years old. Like I think he's going to just
Brett Favre him.
I think he is just going to chew pain pills and go ham and try and win the Super Bowl. Like
okay. I like it.
I think that's his plan.
Yeah.
And will it work? We'll see. It's scary because I've never actually had a herniated disc, but I've felt the pain. I've had my disc slip and bump into my spine, and it is level 10 pain when your disc is bumping in your spine. But these football players are different animals, dude. So plus they take stuff.
He's not gonna be able to walk in 10 years. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
my man, I hope you do not play. Cam Ward, let's just talk Cam Ward real quick because he was the tail end.
I'm excited about him too.
Yeah, he's free. I think he does have upside. You have a new offense. Let me pull Cam up here for a second. Let me share my screen. I'm producing and starring. Look at that. Denny Carter did take him in our analytics
as his only QB, right?
Only QB, and so that took a little bit of
balls
on this guy.
He's got balls.
He's got Ridley. You got Tony Pollard. He can catch the ball. You got Chig in the tight end spot. They've got an unproven rookie. So there are questions around here. You mentioned it in the very beginning when we started talking about Calvin Ridley, though. Calvin Ridley, deep ball threat. It's one of the things he does best is run the deep routes that goes, the post, all that good stuff. And then Cam Ward has a cannon. And so, yeah, you've seen it. And it's real. And so, it doesn't always work out. Those deep passes, you don't get, a high hit rate on those. But there is potential here for Cam. I think DFS a lot. Yes. I would watch. He is a breakout candidate this whole year. He's the first pick in the draft, motherfuckers. Yeah. Like he is a breakout candidate. Like this is how you establish a breakout candidate. There's somebody who has invested draft capital in them. There's somebody who is going to have opportunity. They're going to have potential. They're going to get in the offense. They're going to have the ball in their hand the whole game. So definitely breakout potential. I'm not sure if I'm willing to make him my only QB going into a league, though. Honestly, that's just kind of me. I would get him, and I'd have another maybe veteran backup on my team. And then see how it went. But I'm not against having Cam Ward break out in a couple weeks. The first game's gonna be a little tough against Denver. We're really gonna see what Sean Payton has in store for this rookie. And I'm not gonna say it's gonna be terrible for him. I think they'll do some screens and some ways to kind of get the ball out of his hand fast. But I don't think he's gonna be able to do these huge 7-step drops and just drop dimes to Ridley against the Denver defense. I think that the too high safety shell and all that stuff is just going to kind of keep everything in front of him and kind of just mute him in the beginning. But he'll have some games. I mean, he's in a terrible division. He's going to play the Jaguars. I mean, they give up points. He's going to give up, Houston, they're a better defense. They got some good edge rushers, but I mean, those games are wild down there, and Indianapolis as well. So the South shall not rise, but the scores will. So I'm into Cam.
I'm into Cam a lot too, and I again, there's players I think that if you're doing a 2 QB type thing, I mean that's why you gotta love Denny Carter that's his only quarterback, and he left the guys that we talked about on the board and went for Cam because the upside, right? I mean the upside here with Cam Ward, I remember somebody talking about, I can't remember exactly what interview it was or who said it, but they were talking about how, he was initially going to be drafted last year. And then he, I guess, decided not to for whatever reason, and then went to Miami and now ended up being the first player drafted. So it was a good decision, but the person was talking about how he was 100% ready to go into that. This person, it was like an ex-pro, that just like knows ball, and they were like, there's certain people that you see and you watch them throw the ball, you watch just the mechanics, the footwork, everything, and they're just like, this guy is one of the only people in the world that can do this thing, at this level. He just had every single box checked. And yeah, man, I'm with you, man. I think Cam Ward is very enticing.
Yeah, I think he is too. And I would not be surprised if he didn't have games where he was top, QB1 in the first couple months of this month or so of the year, and people are like, "Oh shit, got to get him."
I
on
like
my
that
roster.
DFS call too, baby.
Stack him with Ridley, maybe.
Yep. I got a lot of Ridley now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm my Ridley shares is my portfolio is banking on Cam Ward being good.
It's strong to quite strong. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a pivot. I like that little QB talk. We all came here to talk tight ends. I mean, everybody and their mom knows we're here to talk. Your boy, our boy, Kyle Pitts, baby. Bo McBrayer, get in the chat. Praise be to Kyle Pitts. If not when, if not now. I think about that picture of the guy. He's got the puzzle piece, and he's holding he's like a puzzle piece person. He's holding a puzzle piece, and it's just there's an empty piece in the back of his head, and it's just like Kyle Pitts this year, right? Every year, Kyle Pitts this year. Are you drafting Kyle Pitts in the year 2025 of our Lord?
You know what, man? I am. I'm not drafting him as my first tight end.
He's back.
I don't think I've yet drafted him. But someone's always beat me to the punch, or I've gotten Brock Bowers, and I'm not playing the zero tight end game. But if you went zero tight end and you're throwing darts at a couple tight ends, I would 100% throw a dart at Kyle Pitts. I'm in. I'm ready to see. Like, it's another new offense. It's Penix. Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, you have Darnell Mooney, who's hurt to start the season. You have Ray McLeod, who I like in the slot. That's good. But this is it for Kyle Pitts. Honestly, this is make or break for him. This might be year 5 of his contract, I believe. I mean, he came in rookie hot. I mean, let's go check and see. He said 4 seasons, right? They did not. Have they re-signed him?
Yep.
This is year 5. Let's just make sure I'm right. Yep, year 5. They have not re-signed him. Like, this is a contract year. And he's just hovered 15, 13. After being 6th, we thought, 176. Oh, he can get 200. He could be a perennial. And he went the other way the next year. He went to 75 points, and he's been clawing back, just gross, 8 points a game, 7.5 points a game. Nobody wants to see that. So,
well, the volume's not there,
know. Well, because he's not running the right routes. He's just a glorified wide receiver. He can't even do that very well, So I think still I'm going to pass on him, but the target share, it's not there. From 110 to 74 last year, that's not good.
I understand the sentiment. It's just to me, it's odd that someone who collegiately was one of the greatest tight ends of all time, and then as a rookie, had 1,000 yards. It just and you can explain away his career at being part of the Arthur Smith, offensive scheme where he loved how great he was at blocking. I mean, I can explain it. So for me, I'll roll the dice as a 0 tight end strategy, and I'm definitely drafting somebody else. I'm not banking on Kyle Pitts, but I'll do it because what if he just becomes what he was always destined to be? Like, maybe this is the year. I'm just saying. I'm not as high on him as Bo. I think like he's with the 10th round. I mean, he's going undrafted in a lot of leagues, and I'm just saying if you are drafting a tight end in rounds 13 or 14 or whatever, like, I'll do it,
I'm going to say I will take the tight end in Atlanta while Kyle Pitts was there, who's no longer in Atlanta, but who was better than Kyle Pitts when he was in Atlanta. That's Jonnu Smith, who's now in Pittsburgh after being in Miami, in Atlanta, and New England and Tennessee. So, I mean, he's been around a lot. And Miami did trade him. But I like Jonnu Smith in that area. He's being drafted around that same area or going undrafted. And so if it's between Jonnu Smith and Kyle Pitts, I think Jonnu Smith has shown elite yak after the catch. He is able to separate. And I like Jonnu.
He's back he's with his boy too. He's with Arthur.
He's Arthur Smith, right? So if anything, in that round, those late rounds, I'm looking for a tight end 2. Normally not my starting tight end, but maybe a backup I can scrape some value from. I'm going Jonnu Smith because he was tight end 4 last year. So, with the ball in his hand, I mean, his target, lost him. No, God, no. Okay, I'm coming back. All right. Oh, here we go. Okay. There we go. He had 111 targets last year, 88 receptions. I don't know the math off the top of my head. That's like a 79% target rate to catch. You know what I mean? That's great. Almost 1,000 yards to 8 touchdowns. So I'm going to lean Jonnu. He's buried back here. I think he's good value. Last question in this little section here. What about your boy, Zachary Ertz? Because last year, Zach Ertz,
too.
Yeah, he was a beast last year. He's getting buried back here. He's tight end 7 on a team that needs him.
What do you have? 8 touchdowns last year? 7 touchdowns?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games where he went over 10 points. Right? That's great. That's consistency. And a lot of those were touchdown related, but homeboy caught touchdowns. Like that's what he did. He caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touchdowns. Yeah, that's what you want. You want touchdowns. So, I think Zach Ertz is also somebody I'm going to get before Kyle Pitts. So I kind of led the witness. I put Kyle Pitts out there first, but I got 2 other guys in Jonnu Smith and Zach Ertz. I think I'm more comfortable drafting. How would you rank those 3? Are you going after Ertz first, Jonnu?
So let's. I can't. To me, this is all just on feel on the draft and who that first tight end is, and if I have somebody like. I'll probably let's say I went Zach Ertz. I would go Zach Ertz. Probably, it's between Jonnu and Zach Ertz for me. You have Freiermuth there still, so I'd probably say Zach Ertz to me is. I would go Zach Ertz, Jonnu, and then Kyle Pitts. But I would probably go Zach Ertz, Kyle Pitts because of the upside there. Rather than Zach Ertz, Jonnu.
I hear you.
I like the upside, so
I'm gonna go Jonnu, Ertz, Kyle Pitts. That's the order I think I'm going to go with those.
I got a deep sleeper that I just drafted in Bo's league that he's not going to get drafted. And since this is a waiver wire show, I'm already putting the name out there because I'm very interested to see how this plays out. Yeah, you're going to have to keep scrolling. He is going to be like 250. How about this dude, Harold Fannin Jr., who is the other tight end on the Browns. Okay.
I've heard of him. He's very athletic.
Okay. So when you look at, they have a combination of metrics for evaluating the careers of tight ends collegiately, and whatever this was, it was very accurate. The top guys were like Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts and, all the names that you would expect, right? At the very top is this guy. This guy is collegiately the greatest tight end according to this set of metrics.
He is him. He
is
him.
He is him. And here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. No, he's tight end 2 on Cleveland, so nobody's paying attention to him yet. Okay. But meanwhile, they're resting him with the starters, like when they have not been playing their top guys, they're not playing him. Like he's already factoring into that offense. Like
he's schemed. They're scheming him. They're
I think the last preseason game, he caught a touchdown from Joe Flacco. Like I think he might have, Njoku is a beast, and he's one of these mid-tier tight ends that I can get behind and people are excited about, and he's going to be the man. I think he'll continue to beast out because he's such an animal. But this guy, to me, carries a ton of intrigue because they really might be designing plays just for him. Like this guy has his own totally unique set of skills.
It sounds like he's a DFS darling for week 1.
I'm just saying, if we're talking about zero tight end and you drafted Zach Ertz, you want to go crazy potential upside, and you could save this guy till round 16. No one's going to draft him.
I love the nuggets. All right, we'll pivot away from. We like to jump in position groups here, kind of talk about a group of people who are being drafted and kind of go to the next group of people. So I got to scroll way back here to the 13th and 14th rounds. Let's talk a little RB, because there are some RBs that are in here, particularly, a few that I want to get your take on here. We have not talked about Jerome Ford. We did talk about Quinshon Judkins. He's in there. He's falling down a little bit, but also Jerome Ford. We've not talked about him. So last week, he was a little bit further down. Now he's up here. What do you think about Jerome Ford in this backfield? You also have, by the way, scroll down a little bit further down here. You got Mr. Dylan Sampson somewhere. Right. Where is that? There he is, Dylan Sampson. So in this range, you've got all 3 of the Cleveland RB running backs. And so, we talk about Judkins not signed yet. Last week he was potentially going back to school. I think that's not happening now. It's the rumors have kind of been pushed aside, like you said, but he still hasn't signed. So he's not on the starting team. He's not going to be playing. And football starts right now, this week, So how are you looking at this? Are you getting Dylan Sampson in the back end? Or are you going towards Ford? Because one of them is a great value. I mean, maybe both of them. I don't know.
Dude, how about this? I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like you've got this nugget yet in whatever you were doing today. I don't. Hot off the Twitter presses, Q Judkins is going to sign, dude. Like
he's in.
He is. If you are drafting in the next hour, he's the guy.
He's in.
That you're gonna you can, and you can still wait on him like around this
Breaking
price.
News.
Yeah, this is all just rumor. But it was like a real reporter, like Mary Kay Abbott or somebody that had inside knowledge, like putting their career on the line, like that apparently he is headed to be part of these last few moments of the preseason. So
why does he look like Key from those East West?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
At these guys' hair, 2 different colors. It looks like it's straight on one side. It's not, but it looks like he's got like a perm straight and then the dreads. And his name is like
Quinshon. Yeah, he definitely looks like an East-West dude, right?
100% East-West vibes. I love it. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, so Q might be the guy here. You might want to just.
I'll tell you what, Dylan Sampson might be the guy though too, man. Like that's a really talented running back.
Yeah, has reps been in the offense all
preseason. Jerome Ford to me is the odd man out that I'm not interested in. I'm just not. Like he's whatever.
We've seen him. He can flash, but I mean he's a little fella. So.
I mean he's just he's to me clogging up your bench at this point. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I mean, Dylan Sampson has way more upside, and then Q is also probably going to factor in. So
Yeah, he's gonna be involved.
yeah, I mean they drafted him in the second round, and then they drafted Sampson in the fourth.
Yeah,
But
double trouble.
Sampson's, he's ready. So he might end up being the guy because this guy's been in preseason. He's ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Pivot to another backfield. We're still in the backfields. We've got two running backs that are kind of on the front end of this. We've got Bashal Tootin for Jacksonville, part of a three-headed monster. We've talked about Bigsby and ETN before. And then Nick Chubb, late in the game here for Houston, we've got no Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, in every show, he's falling into our shows. No one who's paying attention is drafting Joe Mixon right now. Maybe stash and dash if you're a Houston fan for something. I don't know, just pour some out. But Nick Chubb, also an oft injured, came back, but I mean he is not great. What do you think about Houston? You picked up Dameon Pierce, I saw off a waiver wire somewhere in one of our leagues, right? Am I not putting?
I'm picking him up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, how about he's a late round guy to draft? I mean,
You're
he's
Pierce over Chubb guy.
This is it, man. Like, I'm shocked that Nick Chubb is not going to be the guy. And on the depth chart, he is listed as RB1. So I haven't really seen enough, to make any definitive statement. It's all just been word of mouth. It's just been.
Pierce even is.
He's not. He's way down.
Oh, there he is. 245. Oh my God. Holy Lord.
Well, guess what? The depth chart goes Chubb, Pierce, Marks. So
Woody.
yeah. So everybody's I've seen a lot of drafts where people draft Chubb and Woody Marks, and it's like, dude, Dameon Pierce is listed as the RB2. Like, he was dealing with injury too. So, but as the season rolls around, I think he's going to be getting in there, and it's just whichever one pops. And the thing about Nick Chubb is like, okay, I'm shocked, but he's been hurt enough that people are saying he's just not the same guy. Like, that's what, and it's shocking because I've seen those videos of him where he's got 600 pounds and he's squatting, and you're just like, this guy is just one of the most, freaks that's ever lived, and one of my favorite running backs, since I've been doing fantasy football. I get the Chubb for Chubb, but Father Time's undefeated. I'm fading Chubb, and Woody Marks or Dameon Pierce, I think, is going to be the one that emerges, but it could be Nick Chubb. I mean, this is all just what I'm hearing. I don't know.
Yeah, and the Texans aren't great at running the ball. Joe Mixon wasn't even efficient last year. He was just the guy who did it. And some of those games they were winning, Joe Mixon they were just handing the ball, they're winning, So I think they'll throw the ball more this year. Also, that most of their wide receivers at one point were injured last year, with Diggs going out and Dell going out later and Nico Collins missing time. It was a bad scene. So now the running backs are, missing some time here with Mixon. So I think they're gonna have to throw the ball a lot. So running back Nick Chubb, not a real threat to catch the ball either. Not that they target backs a bunch, but still, like, he's a decimal back is what I've heard people say for DFS purposes. Like, he gets 7 carries or 15 carries for 72 yards. Like, he gets 7.2, and if he gets a touchdown, he gets 6. But if he doesn't get a touchdown, like, you're getting 6 points or 7 points or 8 points. Like, that's not going to win anything. So I'm kind of out on Nick Chubb myself. I think Dameon.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, hopefully, you're good going into these last rounds, and you're these waiver wire potential guys where you want to go for upside, right? Like, just look at who could end up going and being around 14 guy to around 6 guy next year, and Dylan Sampson, Woody Marks,
The
Those,
rookies, the young
yeah,
players.
those are the guys. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, next we're going to talk about wide receivers because I got to talk about wide receivers. Here we have a mix. We got some veterans and we got some young heads, right? So I'll start with the veterans, right? We kind of skipped him earlier, but DeAndre Hopkins, third wide receiver in Baltimore behind Flowers, Rashad Bateman. He's kind of in this mix. So you have got him, and then you also have Keenan Allen back in, LA. Used to be Kansas City, or it used to be San Diego when he first started, and went to LA, but back in LA. And then you have down here Marquise Hollywood Brown in Kansas City. He's a little hurt right now. He's questionable. But these are older veteran wide receivers that we've seen their performance. We know what they can produce. Maybe they're not producing at those levels. Are you targeting any veteran wide receivers that are on teams where they're the third wide receiver on the team, or maybe in Keenan Allen's situation, he might be the wide receiver too on this? Like Keenan Allen might be the unique situation. How are you kind of assessing some of these later round vets?
To me, Keenan Allen's the one that I want here, and sadly, I haven't really, there's always been somebody else. So I haven't drafted him for whatever reason yet. Just whatever team I've been building, I've been wanting more depth. And so he hasn't gotten onto any squad for me, but I'm sad about that because I think the upside is really there with him as well. He didn't have some horrible year last year. Like he flashed a ton at different times, and now he's back with his boy. And people are just like I was saying, the bad word on the street about Nick Chubb and the vibes coming out of Houston, like the vibes coming out of the Chargers camps to me, I'm hearing like they're just, like they never skipped a beat. Like it's the same thing. So I'm sort of shocked that his ADP hasn't gone up a little bit higher,
People have been waiting and hating and fading him for years. And I think last year people just said, see, told you, old, done. Not the quarterback situation, not the terrible offensive coordinator that was fired, the coach, and the quarterback coach became the coach, and all that bullshit. Now they're forgetting that Justin Herbert can throw an accurate ball. Like he is a rhythm quarterback too. He drops back, he hits his steps, there's Keenan Allen on the break, he hits him. So yeah, I've not gotten enough of him either. I'm with you, but this is a no-brainer, man. Like he should be wide receiver like 45 or 50, not 60, So
did you see that this was on Twitter, maybe you saw it, maybe not, but it was like one of the Barstool guys, they started waxing on Justin Herbert, and it was like I guess I'm so old. I think her name's Madison Beer. She's like a new hot it girl. And I think they're dating.
She's been singing for a while.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's, hot chick, whatever. And she's
been hot for a while. Just been hot. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know her. So, but they were like, the thing was on Twitter, like, how did he get her? And this guy on Barstool was like, I don't know. How about he's 6'6", he has surfer hair, he has the coolest job in the entire world, he lives in Southern California. Like he just went on and just listened. Like, how did she get him? Like this guy is the absolute pinnacle of manhood that you want in America. Like, why are people sleeping on Justin Herbert? And they're sleeping on him in fantasy, dude. I mean, Justin Herbert was the man. Like, remember when he was QB4 off the board like 2 years ago? Like, they brought in a Harbaugh, and like now he's, he can't date Madison Beer.
No, no, it's against the rules.
Yeah. So that was a Keenan Allen rant. All of it.
A pro Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's a lovely lady, but yeah, I think he's also kind of like goofy and nerdy and
I'm just saying on paper that guy's a dreamboat.
Oh yeah.
I agreed with everything that guy said. Like he just listed out way more stuff than I just said even. It was just like, man, he's on point. Like just his hair. He has great hair.
It's not ridiculous hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Pivoting away from good hair. Young wide receivers, they probably have good hair too. I'm sure Wan'Dale Robinson has good hair. Wan'Dale Robinson being forgotten back here. Romeo Doubs also. We didn't talk about it, but Jayden Reed has a Jones fracture in his foot. He's gonna limp through it. He said this year. I'm just gonna give it the old college try, which is not good for him.
Again, I don't know if they said it's a Jones fracture
No, they
because
did.
Did they?
Did. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I read it.
Out there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought they hadn't disclosed what it is.
I thought maybe. I read it. I don't know why someone would write it if it wasn't. I didn't make that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I read it as a report. But you've got Romeo Doubs or Dobbs or whatever there. You've got rookie Jayden Higgins from Houston, and then Wan'Dale Robinson. If you're in that young receiver range in these different offenses, Giants with Russell Wilson, CJ Stroud, and then hopefully fantasy relevant Jordan Love this year. What are you thinking about if these are any of your guys, braids or fades? Let me know what you're thinking.
Okay, I'm gonna say braid for Romeo Doubs because Matthew Golden very well could be the golden child, and he looks like he will be. But meanwhile, this is really his offense now. Like they're the ones that are going to be in the 2 wide receiver sets, him and Golden, and then meanwhile, when they bring in Jayden Reed, he's playing through a Jones fracture. So why not Romeo Doubs? Like he's always been somebody that has big moments. So to me, he's the one. Jayden Higgins obviously has some appeal and intrigue, but I'm more confident in the Packers being a thing than I am in the Texans this year for whatever reason. So I think that offense will be more dynamic than it was last year. I think Jordan Love takes a step forward instead of a step back. So to me, Dobbs is like the safe play, and that's the one I'm most interested in. What about you? I want to hear how you got those guys.
We didn't even say Wan'Dale Robinson, so he's long forgotten. I think Wan'Dale Robinson last year. Let's look at his season stats. Where did he finish? Wide receiver 36. Like not terrible. He's being drafted like wide receiver. What is he? Wide receiver 60? I don't know. Like if I just see him back there, I just grab him. Because it just, he's got a better quarterback this year. He's got Russell Wilson. He's got single coverage because most of the time they're going to be on Neighbors. And if Neighbors misses time because he's hurt, then Wan'Dale Robinson becomes, probably the guy who gets most of the target. So, Wan'Dale Robinson just seems like a undervalued player. But straight upside, you got to go Jayden Higgins. This guy's a monster. He's huge. He's 6'4". He can run. He's got a big old strong hoss of a body. He's like 225. The guy is a built, huge wide receiver. Now, he's not as fast and fluid and he's not Nico Collins. He's a little bigger too. He's not svelte like Nico's. He's kind of got that leaner frame, where he's going to burn you all the time. But Higgins has got good hands, and I think they're going to throw the football a lot. So I'm going Higgins just for upside. If we're going to go in these rounds for upside, which I think you're looking for, and if Nico Collins gets hurt or somebody gets hurt in that offense, he probably will be on the wide receiver 3 set. So don't look for him right away. But I would expect him eventually after a couple, maybe some, couple target games to get in there. And we'll see if he can do some damage and be successful in some of these games where they need him.
I hear everything you're saying, but back to Romeo Doubs, like why doesn't he have the most upside if he is Matthew Golden is a rookie? Yeah, and Jayden Reed is got a Jones fracture, and here's
why Tucker Kraft is there, and then they like to run the fucking football all the time.
But they're going to throw touchdown passes. Is it only going to be Matthew Golden is a rookie?
That's why I think Kraft's going to get like 10 touchdowns this year.
I'm all about it. I'm just saying. Yeah. I feel like Romeo Doubs has a lot of kind of forgotten hidden potential. Upside.
Yeah, he drops the ball sometimes too. He does dumb stuff too, but he's 19, 17, 10, 18, 14. He's got the potential for sure. Yeah. So he's getting those round 13, 14, 15.
It's a wide receiver 1, really. Right now, Matthew Golden is projected to become the wide receiver 1. But if they're going out and down set hut on week 1, where's Romeo Doubs at right now?
He's on the side. I think it's the V, right?
Well, they're going to throw him the ball, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he'll be out there. He'll be out in space. Okay. I'll let you. We kind of gone over some tier positions as we get in here. There are other flyers and guys that I like here and there, but I wanted to give you a chance. Is there anybody else too here as we get in here? Like I know we both love Jalen Coker. A little thing you can do later rounds. He is injured, so draft him around 15, 16, stash him on your IR immediately as soon as the draft ends. Pick up another player that you want. You did that, and then I watched you do it, and I did it. I learned from watching you, Dad. And so that's, I know, somebody who I think is going to come back, and he's not injured the whole year. He's 4 to 6 weeks. And we both love him. Anything you want to say about that? Because, I watched you, I watched you.
I like that in our league. I was getting ready to draft him, which was on
Funny
Saturday
story.
night, and I'd seen in the back of my head something about him hitting IR, and I think I had seen it just earlier in the day, but it didn't really like register, and I was getting ready to pull the trigger on him, and then I was like, "Oh, guys, hold on," and I had to like time out in the live draft. I was like, "Hold on." And I had to pivot because it was like round like 12 or 13, and I was ready to go early on him because of the upside. And everyone was like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing, I don't want to say anything, blah blah blah. So then the whole league started trying to figure out who I was talking about, and then you finally did figure out, because you're my podcast partner and we just mind meld. You're like, oh, you made like a little like line of Coke reference or something like that, and I was like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. And then in the 16th round, because we have an IR spot, I did end up drafting him. And you just thought that was like genius, because I put everybody kind of started figuring it out. And so nobody ended up drafting him. And then I got him in the 16th round, and I've already made a move and gotten a different player and put him in my IR. But I do have to say, there was no like Godfather thought to it. Like, it was all just it all just sort of happened. And then in the 15th round is when I was like, I could do that, but I didn't lead you guys down that path. Like,
No, it was all real time. It was all
like, there was a round, like, I was honestly scared because you were like right before me that you were gonna do that too. And then when you didn't do it, I was like, oh, watch this, he's gonna like it. And then you did like it, and then you did it in crab cakes.
I did the move, and I did it in Bo's league too. So
Yeah.
I've got him in two. Yeah, it was smart. It made me really. I love the little inside baseball stuff that we do against each other, and makes us better. So
he's got a quad injury, so they say 4 to 6 weeks. So for late round stash, dude, 100%.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell you another guy we've been fighting over, and I've not gotten any shares of him. Fuck. All right, I'm not happy about it. Is Ollie Gordon? Yeah. Achan's coming back this week. I saw the press release today. He's gonna practice. Don't you worry. He's got a calf issue, some soft tissue issue stuff. That man, his wheels are his meal ticket. He's the reason. I mean, he's fast. If he's got a hurt wheel, he's got a blown calf or something, that you don't want that. So you need insurance in the HN business, and Ollie Gordon II is the insurance, right? Wright is injured right now. He's doubtful. He's not going to play week 1. So Gordon is going to be in there. He's going to get some reps. I just think he's going to be a breakout eventually this year. I don't think even Etchen needs to get hurt. I think he'll just be a solid guy there at times. And we'll see. We'll see. I like him. I'm trying to get him. Maybe I'll get him Wednesday or whatever. I doubt it. I bet you'll get him.
You know what? It has, and it happened Saturday night. This is one of these guys that's like, do not forget about this guy, because he's for whatever reason, all these different sites, their ADP don't have him right. So it's like you're looking at your cheat sheet or whatever, and he's too far down. Like, he should be right here in this, Jerome Ford, Quinshon, Judkins category for sure. Like, a lot of them still have Jalen Wright ahead of him. And that was the thing, is like, minus the injury, this guy, and Jalen Wright was supposed to be a big thing. I remember last year the buzz on him, but Ollie Gordon outplayed him in preseason. Like, he looked fantastic. So, like, this is the guy. And then, Jalen Wright's expected to miss multiple weeks after
Yeah.
undergoing a procedure on his leg.
It's
So
not good. He got under the knife, baby.
this is the guy. Like, if we're doing our thumbnail, it's Ollie Gordon for this show.
Yeah. I think the thumbnail.
I don't know. I'm just saying it should be.
I think before it was Marvin Mims, because Marvin Mims was at that time he was in the other rounds, and then he'd shot up. But I mean, by the way, Marvin Mims, I love him, and you got him. You sold him for me, you piece of shit. I hate you guys up. You
a lot of
fantasy
upside with that guy.
Anyway, I like Ollie Gordon. Anybody else? We've got about 10 minutes left. We don't want to shortchange. We don't really talk kickers or defenses. I know people do that kind of stuff. God bless you. You know who you're going to get, and if you don't, then it's fine. Anybody in here that you're kind of, I got
another guy, and I want to ask you if you have anybody that's going undrafted or only sharps are drafting. Because here's a guy. Okay, well, here's my guy.
You go.
Here's my guy, and I think he got drafted. He's been drafted in all the leagues we've been together.
Thornton.
Yep,
it's Thornton.
That's right.
You mother. Talk about Mr. Thornton.
Here's the thing. It's just one of these kind of things, because it's like I haven't followed like a ton of tape on this guy, but it's just one of these kind of like just stats that you see where somebody just puts it real clear. I can't remember exactly who tweeted it and who was on the list, but it was like 6'4" wide receivers that run a 4.3. He runs a 4.30, and he's 6'4" and a half. Okay. The only other people that have ever done that are Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson. And then there's this
never
guy.
heard of him.
So that to me was just enough data where I'll go ahead in the starting in round 13, if I have my team set up the way I want it, I want to pull the trigger on this guy.
Hey, you're gonna double down when you find out who's fading him. Guess who's fading him?
Who?
You already know. Who's
it? Yeah. Really? He hates him?
He's a betch guy. He likes the other guy. He likes the little white guy they got, and then they're not using him. They're like,
and then they brought in Amari Cooper too. So that'll be interesting.
How much they like betch? They brought in. I like Dante Thornton Jr. He's a beast. He is fast. He's 6'5". Man can 4.3 blazing speed. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, I got a guy. I have a couple guys, but my guy right here is Tory Horton. He's a little questionable right now. He's got a little issue. He's nursing. He should be getting better soon. But he should go undrafted. Just watch for him this season. If Cooper Kupp gets injured at all, I think he can really do some damage. So I think it kind of takes a little bit of something going on. But they got rid of Marquez, Scaldez, Vantling, Schmatling, Batling. They got rid of him. And they put him in their 3 wide receiver slot. So as just a little name to keep your ear to the ground. I'm sure we'll talk about him in the waiver wire episodes coming up. Tory Horton, I like him. He's a smaller gentleman of leisure, not a Lockett type, but somebody in space who can move, generate, and get that yak afterwards and be hard to elusive. So I'm in on him. Anybody else you got? Before we I got one more. If you don't want to.
Well, yeah, we already mentioned Dameon Pierce to me is one of these really like undrafted guys that is a waiver wire guy.
Yes.
But for me, that those are all the guys I'm lightly flag planting on.
I want to hear more about Brashard Smith and just see what happens with him. He's got 4.39 speed, and Pacheco can catch the ball, and stuff, but. He's somebody just to watch over the course of the season and just see kind of how the running backs go over there, and maybe he gets a role as a third down back more so than Steele. Steele's good at pass blocking, I know, but we'll see. Brashard Smith's fast. Every rookie can't pass block. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he needs to improve his pass blocking, but he's just a rookie who he's in an offense that has potential. Andy Reid offenses always do. So those were a couple of my guys, and I think that kind of wraps up. And we've mentioned some of our other guys before, but I mean those are the sleepers, and we'll see what happens this year with all these things. Because it starts Thursday, man. We're 4 days away right now. 4 days from now, we'll be getting ready to watch football, and then we'll watch again on Friday because there's football on Friday, and then on Sunday and on Monday. So starting on Thursday, there'll be 4 out of 5 days we'll be watching and enjoying football. So I think it's safe to say football is 100% back. Terry McLaurin signed. I mean, pretty much everybody's in right now, right? Like no one is holding out. I mean,
just Judkins. That's the only guy left.
Was it. The domino fell. Micah Parsons got traded. Hey, by the way, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, I don't feel bad for you one bit. I just want to do the Nelson. Because, man, it just feels so good watching you have
I feel bad for him. What
that
are you,
shit owner?
Dude. They gave away a generational talent. Like, my gosh.
But my favorite is that we get to see Dallas fans implode. As a old Commanders Redskin back in the day fan, we were the laughing stock of the NFL for multiple decades, for the longest time. Yeah. To see another franchise just
your turn now.
Just run wholeheartedly forward to take the baton. Yeah. And Arthur Blank in Atlanta is like bringing in amazing food into his dome, and he's got a new dome, and everyone loves him, and like it's a great place, and they're like $4 get you 100 million pounds worth of shrimp here. You're just like, this is incredible. In Texas, they're just trading away generational talents for nobodies and paying Deron Bland billions of dollars. It's just so great. They're gonna be terrible. I already picked my first bet of the year. By the way, I'm just letting it be known. I'm working on, between you and me, I'm an AI model with betting to help, and I've uploaded. I spent hours on it today in GPT chat, just giving it data, feeding it data, years worth and years worth and years worth of data. We both concluded that we think the Eagles are going to win this game by more than 7 points, 7.5. As soon as they traded Micah Parsons, I went and bet the Eagles at -7. It's already gone to 7.5. Immediately went to 7.5. Yeah, like the next day, because Micah Parsons is gone. So AI thinks it's going to be under. I think it's going to be over. I think Philly's going to do a little shellacking, and I think Philly could score 45 points in the game themselves. So we'll see. I'm going to go me versus AI this year. We're going to keep track of every game, over under, what the models predict, what I say. Do I agree with the models? My own stuff. I'm excited to see this first year. I'm just going to do it by myself. I'll share it with people, but I'm not going to put it out there. But I want to get some data on games and how to do some good picks. So we're having fun. I'm excited. All right, next week, The Real Deal. We'll be doing our actual, the show. And if you don't know, now you know. Here's how the show goes. We're going to break it down with trades to get paid. We don't normally start the first week. You're not trading the first week, but a couple weeks in, we'll do trades to get paid. We'll do the waiver wire, who you're picking up each week, who you're prioritizing. We don't do start, sit, cut. We do elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. We bring up the verbiage a little bit. We're not in second grade, right? I teach it, but we're high class here. And then we do DFS stacks of cash. We talk about our DFS plays. We do 3 different stacks with a high, medium, low price QB. Help you win some money. And then we get out of here with 3 tweets normally, or rated X, whatever we want to call it. And that's the show. And then we win you your league. And if you listen long enough, just, don't try to win leagues with us. We'll
Tune in for sure.
Yeah. And shout out Joe Bond, everybody over the Fantasy Six Pack. And if you don't know, I'm sure the promos are still the same, but if they're not, you can come after me. Go to fantasy6pack.net and put into the old, podcast machine F6P pods to save 15%. And also, you only got a couple days left. Sign up for your fantasy league on Fantrax. You can do all kinds of customizable leagues. You can do college leagues, sickos. If you do it, I appreciate you. I can't do that yet. I got family. That's sick. You sick people. But please sign up for Fantrax and tell Joe Bond we said hello. All right, I'll let you get us out of here, Mike.
All right, guys, here we go. The season is underway. Week 1, to all your opponents. Horrible moments, devastation, pain, and chaos in week 1 to everyone you're playing. Peace and love everywhere else.